What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know? I'll start. I was like 14, I was taking a health class, and obviously we had to do sex education, right? Now, I'm not sure if it was a part of the course material or someone just told me this when I was in that class, but I had to learn that the inside of your vagina made with pretty much the same materials, cells, feeling as the inside of your cheek. So now, anytime I get a little anxious and want to bite the inside of my cheek, do you know what I have to think about? I'm biting my vagina right now. Okay. What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal?
You can naturally increase your growth hormone by taking the supplement creatine, and that's not cap.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
The fact that Harvard offers their entire introductory computer science class for free. Wait, like Harvard? Yeah, like this Harvard. So if you've ever been one of those people that are like, I want to learn how to code, but I have no idea where to start. Now's your chance to learn how to code just like Harvard students do. Check it out at the link below.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
Okay, I have a good one, and this one's gonna come in handy for a lot of you. Surprisingly, not that many people know about it. This is how you can get any program for free. Really good ones too. Avoid any trial versions, malware, and adverts. Here's how you do it. Let's say you're looking for a video editing software. You write video editor open source. Open source basically means that it's publicly accessible so anyone can use it. So here's one. And here's another one. And then you can download it using the download button on the website. Make sure to follow for more hacks.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know? I'll start.
Okay, so according to this marketing book, Kopikoff first launched in the Philippines for their flavored candies, which they offered the gynecologists. When I first read that, I was like, oh, baka kasi late natutulog yung mga gyno, kaya sa kanila in-offer. But I was wrong. Apparently, they gave these to gynecologists so that they can give these for free to expecting mothers. A year later, Kopiko then launches its line of instant coffee. Lo and behold, moms soon realized that when their kids were agitated, they can give them Kopiko coffee and they instantly calm down. Apparently, the babies became familiar with and comfortable with the taste of Kopiko from when they were still in the womb. What?
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
You can end someone's life with one punch to a specific part of the skull. The pterion is a point where 4 skull bones meet. It's vulnerable because it's very thin. Running directly underneath this point is a juicy artery known as the middle meningeal artery. If enough trauma is delivered to this region, one of the bones can fracture and tear the artery. This would then cause an epidural hematoma, a collection of blood which can squish the brain and cause death.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
The infinite banking system. Credit card debt, for example. Instead of paying the 18 to 20% interest on that credit card debt, what you do is you put your money into a whole life insurance policy and you borrow against the cash value and you pay the credit card off and you pay off all your debt. Now, you were going to pay the 18% anyways. So instead of paying the 18% to a credit card company, pay the 18% back to yourself. And now what you're doing is you're paying yourself the interest versus the bank. But meanwhile, that cash value is uninterrupted, which means it keeps growing. It's as if you never took the money out. Why? You didn't take it out. You just borrowed against that amount from yourself. This is what some of the wealthiest people on the planet do, including banks. It's one of the smartest ways for you to grow your wealth, for you to become your own bank and be dependent on only yourself.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
The bank doesn't keep your money in the bank. They put it somewhere else and give you minus 1%. You could put your money where the bank put their money and get up to 15% compounding. And guess what? It's not the stock market.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
I know what slime is made of. Like actual Nickelodeon slime. I know the secret recipe. I can't tell you, but I know what it's made of.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
You can find where your competitor's traffic is coming from by just looking up SimilarWeb and just enter the competitor's URL. Then scroll down, seeing their total traffic, where that traffic is coming from, and see what their biggest referring social channels are.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
How about the fact that tons of the biggest creators on this app are scamming their fans every single day and you guys have no idea how they're doing it? Let me explain, and also let me just be very clear on something. I'm calling out every single person who does this. Every single one. So have you guys ever been watching a TikTok and you look in the description of the video and it says click the link in my bio to receive $750 in Cash App?
Here's one. Here's another one. Here's another one.
I mean, literally the list goes on. Those are just 3 that popped up when I typed in Cash App. You ever filled one of them out and said, why in the world have I not won $750? Here's a hint. You don't actually win. It just takes all your information and then that company sells it to certain providers so that way they can market to you with their different products. How much do these big creators earn per survey? They earn $3.75 per action. Let's do some numbers real quick. This guy's video got 6.2 million views using the Cash App thing.
Just be generous and say 20,000 of those people filled out the survey. That's 75 grand.
Please don't fall for this.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
I legitimately don't even want to share this one. You can order something as cheap as $1.99 chocolate milk and then park at places like the Contemporary because you ordered from Contempo Cafe and you need to pick up your mobile order. But guess what? You now have access to the walkway and you can park your car and walk directly into Magic Kingdom for $1.99 versus using the TTC, which will take you at least 25-30 minutes. Seriously, don't abuse this one. It scares me. If it goes away, I'll be so upset.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
So there's this very famous YouTube couple that everybody knows because they're everywhere. They've got a perfect house, perfect family, everything. I'm not going to mention their name because to avoid a scandal, but my cousin is pregnant for the husband.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
I don't feel like it should be illegal, but it's shady. You go in your settings, go to your control center, and then you find little ear. Where you at? Right there. I missed it. I'll go back up to it. You push the plus sign. And then when you push the plus sign, it will go where your flashlight, your calculator, and all that is. And then you scroll down. And then you get to your little here, right there. You push it, and you click on. You can leave it in any room. You can listen to what anybody's saying at any time if your phone's in that room with just your earbud in.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
That if you are self-employed, meaning you have a sole prop or S corp, the government wants you to take your sick days. So you can get paid about $5,110 from the government for taking your sick days. Additionally, if you are a business owner parent and your kids have not been able to go to school for in-person learning, the government will pay you an additional $10,000 just for taking paid family leave. Now, the real sauce is that since the kids are at home anyway, they might as well be helping you in the business. So you can put them on payroll, pay them about $12,000 in which you get a tax deduction for, and the kids don't pay any taxes on that money. From there, you take that same money, you open up a Roth IRA account, which is an investment account that pays no taxes on the growth and no taxes on the income. Now, what the guys at Wall Street are not going to tell you is that that account does not have to be invested into stocks and bonds. You can actually buy real estate inside of it. The real estate in that account, the rental income, as well as any gains from the profits for selling it, pay no taxes on it.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
You've seen those TikToks with people in like these crazy first class cabins. This is me in Emirates first class. It's nuts. Here's Emirates, New York to Athens. In June is $8,400. Now here's the thing. It's always worth checking to see if points are available because even if you don't have those points, you can buy them. Same thing, New York to Athens, June 2nd. We click Classic Rewards. Voila! Instead of $8,400, it's 85,000 points. Compare it to loyalty, buy miles. 85,000 points for $1,980.
I'm not saying it's cheap, baby, but it is almost $7,000 cheaper.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
There is a pressure point in people's thumbs where if you press hard enough, it can cause a bubble to go through their veins and cause them a heart attack. And by the time the police and people who investigate the body actually get there, the injury will be completely gone and it will just go down as a normal heart attack.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
If you buy an ATM and keep it in your room, you open up 100 bank accounts. Only the bank accounts that reimburse ATM fees. You get your debit card. All 100 of them, swipe them once a week. You set the ATM charge for $10. You're making $4,000 a month from 100 different banks. I'll do more credit ones because my other credit one went viral.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
Kaya mabagal ang internet connection sa Pilipinas kasi kulang sa suporta mula sa gobyerno. Mabilis yung internet connection ng neighboring countries natin kasi pinopondohan ng gobyerno nila yung pagpapatayo ng cell towers at iba pang internet infrastructures nila. Isa pa, hinaharang ng maraming LGUs at homeowners associations yung pagpapatayo ng cell towers ng telecommunications companies sa bansa. Kung mabagal yung internet connection sa barangay nyo o sa bayan nyo, magtanong-tanong ka dyan sa barangay hall nyo, "Bossing, ba't kaya ang bagal ng net sa atin?" Kaya tanungin natin mismo yung gobyerno, bakit po kaya yung Dolomite may budget, yung cell towers wala? Lahat to kontrolado ng gobyerno or kaya nilang kontrolin at least. Kaya yung paparating na network, kapag mabilis yung connection nun, alam nyo na.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
99% of police handcuffs are opened with an identical and universal key. And 99% of locks use the standard pin and tumbler, which means all you need are these two pieces of metal to open them up. So if you're interested in learning how to pick locks, check out my bio for links to sets and follow for more hacks.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
So here's a good one that's going to help out a lot of you. Medical bills. When you don't pay your medical bills, the hospital sells it to collection. The hospital writes it off as a bad debt. Well, the collection company then calls you. Well, you have no real debt with the collection company. They're just whatever they get's profit. So when a collection company for medical bills calls you, ask for proof of claim. They're going to give you some bullshit about that's what everybody says, yada, yada, yada. But because of the HIPAA law, they cannot provide you with proof of claim. It's illegal. They don't know what happened. They don't know why they bought that debt. They just know they have it. If they cannot provide you with proof of claim within a certain amount of time, technically, legally, they have to take it off your credit. I mean, the more you know.
Piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know.
You can earn college credit for free. Here's how. Take a CLEP exam. It's one test. Proves you know everything in the course. To get a free CLEP voucher, sign up for Modern States. You can CLEP out of some of the hardest courses to take. You only need a 63 to pass a CLEP exam.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
In December, two companies called Aphria and Tilray merged under the Tilray name to form the largest pharmaceutical marijuana company worldwide. At some point in Q2 this year, they will both be under the Tilray name, but right now, you can get free money by investing in Aphria. Let me explain. As part of the deal, Aphria shareholders will get 0.83 shares of Tilray for every Aphria share they own. This is how much Tilray is trading for, $38.80 a share. And here's Aphria, $19.75 a share. $19.75 of $38.80 is only 50.9%. That being said, you'll get about 30% more by investing in Aphria than by buying Tilray right now. It's literally free money.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
Sour cream isn't sour. Yeah, sour cream's not sour. See, if I get a whole package of Sour Patch Kids and put them in my mouth, now that's sour! Now society wants you to believe that this right here is sour. But it doesn't make my thirst quench! It's not sour! You're gonna tell me that it's sour? See, that's society for you. That's why I just want to watch the world burn!